Hey everyone, Happy New Year, huh? If you're Catholic like me, you know that Christmas is just ending today too. Today is the feast of the baptism of the Lord. And so it's officially the end of the Christmas season. But that is not quite what I wanted to talk to you about today. Today I've got for you 5 pieces that you will need to help you follow through with completing your goals this year. So 5 things. So today I'm going to give you the first one, and that is intention. So what exactly are intentions? I am not talking about intentions in the sense of any kind of new age type style of manifesting. That's not what we're talking about here. I am using the word intention as a synonym for goals, or even maybe you can call it dreams if you want. So whether you like to call it a dream, whether you like to call it an intention, whether you like to call it a goal, choose a term that works for you and that communicates to you that this is something that you get to cooperate with God's grace and you get to work toward, okay? And then together, you and God's grace are going to create that result. So, like I said, choose whatever word works for you. Goal, intention, dream, whichever one. Okay, so why would we want to do this? Why are setting clear intentions important? Here's why. Because humans are designed to need a direction and a purpose. It's just the way that we're made up. And truly, we are created for that ultimate goal of being together with God in heaven for eternity. That is our ultimate goal. So when we set specific goals in our lives and we work toward them, it kind of gives us like a little snapshot of what it might look like along the way toward that bigger goal of reaching heaven. Now, please don't misunderstand what I say here, because sometimes somebody might hear that and might think, oh, she's saying that we need to work our way toward heaven. That's not what I'm saying at all, because that actually is not possible for us to earn our way into heaven. It's not possible because we can't do any of it without God's grace. So what I'm saying is, like I said very carefully, if you heard me, I said we get to cooperate with His grace and we do our part. With His grace, we can take the actions to work toward those goals. And that is cool, because when we set those goals, when we set our intentions, when we dream, it is important for us to just allow ourselves to think about what would we just really love our lives to look like? What would we love our relationships to look like? What would we love our finances to look like, or our career? Any of these things. And what is really the ultimate way to do that is to dream with God. Set your goals and your intentions with God. Because when we do that, then we can unite our will to His will. So here are some ways that you can do that. I've got 5 little steps here for you when it comes to setting your intentions with God. So step 1, like I said, dream. Let yourself dream and start with prayer. Ask for your dream to reveal God's dream for you and for your family and for your work and for any other area of your life. Ask God that your dream will help reveal His dream for you. And the second step is to clarify your priorities. make a list of what your priorities are in order. So what's at the very top of that list? And then what comes next? You might have maybe around 5 to 7, maybe even up to 10 different areas of your life or things that are different priorities for you in your life. So just get really clear about what comes at the top and what comes further down on the list. This will help you set your goals. The third step, as I said before, is to bring those desires to God and then ask what his interpretation is. So you've already asked for him to reveal his dream for you in your dream, but even when you start to form sort of a picture of what that might look like, then bring it to him through even more prayer and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I am dreaming about. Can you tell me what your interpretation is? And then just see what comes to mind and write it all down. See what happens. Then the fourth step is to determine, okay, here's what the overall dream looks like. Here's what kind of that big goal looks like. So, but you might have multiple goals because you have multiple priorities, right? So just in this step, in step 4, determine which goal or intention you will work on first. And specifically, you can narrow it down to what am I going to work on in the first 30 to 90 days from now? And not just work on, but what am I setting an intention to bring to completion in that amount of time? Now, if this part is a struggle where you have to pick just one, I don't know about you, but this can be hard for me to pick just one. There's a couple of ways that you can think about this that might be helpful, okay? First, go back to that priorities list and see what is at the very top of your priorities. And maybe you have a dream for that very top priority, and maybe that's what you want to focus on for the first 30 to 90 days as you are working toward your bigger goals or multiple goals. So that's one way to go about it. Another one is to look at your different goals and think I call this the domino. Which of these goals could create a domino effect for my life? Which of these, if I were to reach that goal, would have the biggest impact on all other areas of my life? And that's a really good way to think about what you're going to tackle first. So, a couple of tips there for you. And then the fifth step, once you have clearly figured out which one you're going to tackle first, write it down very clearly. What is your intention by the end of that period in that first 30 to 90 days? And write it in the form of a sentence as if it has already happened. Because that will actually help your brain get used to the idea of it already being done. So write it down on a piece of paper, that first focused intention. And when you write it down, be sure that you put the date by when you plan to complete it. I will, for example, sorry, I'm trying to think of one. Okay, for example, if one of your goals and something that you think will be a domino for your life, let's take, for example, that maybe you want to lose a little weight or you want to be healthier in some way. think of a way that you're going to measure that. Maybe it is a number on the scale. Maybe it is that you're able to lift a certain number of pounds by a certain date or do a certain number of reps. Or maybe if you're doing something like I've seen my kids do, like a plank challenge, and they work up, they just keep increasing the amount of time that they're able to hold a plank. These are all great ideas for getting stronger. So some way to measure it, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's weight, like I said, lots of options there. So you're writing it in a very clear way as if it has already happened. For example, I have lost 30 pounds by, what was I going to put? By April 1st. I have lost 30 pounds by April 1st. I am saying it as if it's already finished. I am saying the measurable part of it, and I'm saying the date by when I plan to have it completed. So that's an example for you. And that is how you set your intentions with God. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to come back and I'm going to offer you the next piece that you will need to help you complete those goals this year. And it's so valuable. I have 5 of them for you, these 5 pieces. And if any of them are missing, it's going to be very difficult for you to reach your goals. So stick with me this week. Come and find me on this page. You might be able to find me other places too. And also, I wanted to say, if any of these steps are difficult for you, for example, maybe it's clarifying your priorities and you just think, I don't know what should come higher than the others. Or maybe it's that very first step of dreaming and thinking about what do you want to do next? What do you want in your life? What is important to you now in this new season of your life? Maybe you're facing a new season. Honestly, we all are, right? It's a brand new year, and a lot of us are thinking about, okay, what's this year going to be like? Pretty soon, in a few weeks, we're going to have Lent. Maybe you want to start thinking about what you want your Lent to look like. So, any of those can be challenging when you are just like, I don't know what I want, or I feel, sometimes we have the mindset, I should be happy where I am. I should be happy with the way that things are now, or at least content. Maybe not thrilled, happy, but at least content. That is something that I would like you to challenge, because I believe that God is always calling us to something new. Now, should we be grateful for what we have now? Absolutely. We should never stop being grateful and so thankful for all of the blessings that we have in every single moment of every day. But that does not mean that God isn't calling you to a new place. That He isn't calling you to step out of the boat. Because when we stretch ourselves in this way, we actually create more opportunities for us to trust Him deeper, to trust Him more, to practice having more faith in His providence. So He's always calling us out onto the water to come to Him and to let go of the boat, which can be our comfort and our security. So if you think that maybe God isn't challenging you right now, I would challenge you to think about that some more, because I believe that He is. Every one of us, all the time. So if any of these steps or a struggle for you, please reach out to me. I help people with this all the time, and I would be thrilled to have a conversation with you and help you kind of uncover what it is that you want and what God might be calling you to. I can help take you through some simple steps that will help you discern where God might be leading you next. And then we can talk about how you're going to get there. It's such a great adventure. Let's begin. So I will see you tomorrow. Until then, God bless you and all those that you love. I'll see you soon.